protect your home from the next winter freeze by avoiding these common mistakes. And the last one, you might not have thought of. Hey, it's Mark. And as a real estate agent, it's my mission not just to educate and empower you on how to buy and sell a home, but how to maintain that home like a pro. It's January here in Dallas, but you couldn't tell with this kind of weather. It's 60 degrees outside. But by this weekend, the forecast is saying we're going to be in the single digits and in for a hard freeze, so you need to be ready. Don't wait until the cold weather's upon you, but get ready now while you still have time. Frozen pipes during the winter are a huge concern. These freshwater supply lines come in from the city, run underground under your house, and then come up through, so they're very susceptible to getting frozen. They're always full of water and under constant pressure. If the water that's in this pipe freezes and expands, it could crack that pipe, and even a small crack can mean a ton of water coming out. As much as 5 gallons a minute, that equals over 7,000 gallons every day, either coming into your yard or inside your house, and that can cause a ton of damage. The first mistake people make is keeping their hoses connected to the hose bib outside. Go ahead and disconnect this, and also disconnect end of hose sprayers and let your hoses drain. If water gets trapped in the hose, it can bust your hose as well and keep water stuck in the hose bib. The next step is to buy your hose bib covers. Now you can get these at any local home improvement store, and I would get them now before the weather gets too cold, or else they'll run out. These are super simple to attach. They just have this little loop that you hook over just hook this little loop over the end of your spout, put that on, and pull the cord tight. This will keep a little bit of heat from the house and the inside of the pipes trapped inside of there to protect that. Here's a pro tip. If you don't have one of these fancy faucet-covered doohickeys, use a towel and wrap it up with some duct tape or some string. Either one will work just fine. Just don't tell your wife you used her fancy bath towel. It's not a bad idea, if you have the budget, to have a plumber install frost-free sillcocks to keep the water out of this spigot. Here's the main cutoff valve for my house. All you have to do is turn this 1/4 turn, and that shuts the water off to the whole house. It's a good idea to know ahead of time where this box is and to make sure that valve works, because these things can really get rusted and stuck. If you don't know that, when an emergency happens and you need to cut the water off, you might be up a creek. Make sure you bring in all of your frost tender plants. I've got a lot of pansies and cyclamen out here that will do fine, but I'm not quite sure about this Gerber daisy. I'm going to take it inside just in case. Another common mistake that people make is to forget to turn off their sprinkler system. Yeah, I know you've got a rain freeze guard, but do you trust it? I'm going to be on the safe side and just turn mine off. Here's the rain freeze sensor from my house. Yeah, I got to get that fixed. I don't put much trust in that. Your sprinkler system isn't as susceptible to as much damage as the pipes inside your house because they're not under the constant pressure and full of water. They tend to drain themselves. But still, you don't want your sprinkler going off in the wintertime when everything's frozen and creating a winter wonderland in your front yard or on your sidewalk or driveway. So it's a slip hazard for people. We don't want that. Another simple mistake to avoid is not letting your faucet run. Go ahead and open up the hot and the cold sides a little bit to allow that water to come running through and to keep some warmth inside the pipes. Another mistake to avoid is by leaving your cabinet doors closed. If you know it's going to be cold, and especially if your plumbing is on an outside wall like this one is, just go ahead and open up the cabinet doors. Let some of the heat from the house circulate around those pipes. That'll help a lot. I think it's time to clean out my cabinets. If you have a fireplace, stock up on firewood. You never know if the power might go out. This might be your only heat source. If you have a gas-powered fireplace, make sure you know where the gas key is. One year we couldn't find ours because my 2-year-old grandson had put it in a Christmas box full of ornaments that got stuck up in the attic. What about your thermostat? Is it battery operated? Do you have spare batteries on hand? You know, this is a great opportunity to have your HVAC technician to come and check your furnaces and just make sure they're running optimally so that they don't conk out on you in the middle of a freeze. As a matter of fact, my guy's coming tomorrow morning because making this video made me think of it. Hey, here's one you might not have thought about. It's not uncommon for houses who have had slab leaks for the plumbers to fix a solution by running the water lines through the attic. Do you know if that's been done in your house? If so, are those water lines insulated? Even if they've been insulated, sometimes people can walk around and kick that insulation off, or if you've had rodents in the attic, they can chew through that stuff, so it's not a bad idea just to check and see to make sure your water lines are insulated in the attic, because you don't want to find out that when it's too late. This is what the copper supply tubing looks like that's would be running through your attic if it is in there, or it could be PEX line, which is it's a flexible plastic tubing, and it's either blue or red, depending on if it's hot or cold. And you may find those running through the attic. That may be a job for a plumber if you're not one that wants to go climbing around and crawling through an attic looking for it. But this would be what you're looking for, is an exposed pipe. And all you need is this flexible foam that's been cut, and you can buy it at any store, home improvement store, and literally you just slide it on over the pipe just like that, and that's all there is to it. There's nothing fancy. In a pinch, if this didn't work and you didn't have access to it and you needed to cover some up, you could use a towel just like we did on the faucet outside, or a blanket, wrap it up in duct tape as a temporary solution until you can get it done professionally. Well, I hope these tips help. By making just a few small changes, you can avoid a lot of heartache and thousands of dollars in potential freeze damage. Hey, if you like this information, like our YouTube channel and subscribe and share it with your friends so they can benefit from the same information. We'll see you next time.